How does the economy self-correct after and as shifts? Imagine the economy as a busy highway. When there's a sudden slowdown or rush, how does everything get back to normal without a traffic cop? That's what we're exploring today. When aggregate demand or aggregate supply shifts, the economy doesn't stay out of balance forever. Instead, it has built-in mechanisms to fix itself over time. Let's start with the basics. Aggregate demand is the total amount of goods and services people want to buy at different prices. Aggregate supply is the total output firms are willing to produce at those prices. When either of these shifts, it causes a short-term imbalance. For example, if demand drops suddenly, the economy enters a recession. Businesses sell less, and unemployment rises. But wages and input prices don't stay high for long. As demand falls, workers and suppliers accept lower wages and prices because there's less money flowing in the economy. Lower wages make it cheaper for companies to produce goods, so the short-run aggregate supply curve shifts rightward. This means production increases again, bringing output back to its natural level, even though prices are lower. The economy is self-correcting because wages and prices are flexible in the long run. The same process works in reverse when demand increases. If demand surges, prices and wages tend to rise as resources become scarcer. Higher wages push the short-run aggregate supply curve leftward, reducing output and bringing it back to the full employment level. Changes in aggregate supply can also trigger self-correction. If supply decreases due to higher input costs, output drops below potential, creating a recessionary gap. Over time, lower demand for resources causes wages and input prices to fall. This shift in wages makes production cheaper again, shifting the short-run aggregate supply curve rightward and restoring output. Conversely, if supply temporarily increases, wages may rise, shifting the curve leftward and balancing the economy. This process depends on how flexible wages and prices are. Over time, wages and prices adjust slowly but steadily, guiding the economy back to its long-term potential. The long-run aggregate supply curve is vertical, showing that potential output doesn't change with demand shifts but only with technological progress or resource availability. In real life, after shocks to demand or supply, the economy tends to move back toward full employment on its own. This is because wages and prices respond to resource shortages or surpluses, helping to restore balance. However, this adjustment can take time, which is why policymakers sometimes step in to help speed things up. But fundamentally, the economy's ability to self-correct is driven by changes in wages and resource prices that shift the short-run aggregate supply curve. So, in short, the economy naturally works to fix itself after shifts in demand or supply. When demand drops, wages and prices fall, boosting supply and output. When demand rises, wages and prices increase, reducing output to its natural level. This ongoing process keeps the economy moving toward its long-term goal of full employment and stable prices.